You have to do something about yourself. You can't just sit there and wallow and feel sorry for yourself and stay in that victim mentality, because even when we are victims of something, that doesn't mean we have to continue to be victims of everything. Hey my loves, welcome back to another pink coded podcast episode. My name is Tanya and I am your host. For today's episode, we are going to be talking about romanticizing your life. This is the topic that got the most voted for on my polls, and so here I am ready to deliver. As you guys know, I'm your pink fairy godmother and I'm here to deliver. You guys know that's like my little slogan for my main channel. I want to tell you guys how it changed my life, how it can change your life, how to romanticize your life. So you guys know how it rolls. I'm going to set a 45-minute timer and we're just going to get to yapping. Romanticizing your life is sometimes something that we already do, but we don't realize that we're doing it. A really great example of this is, as a child, I think my mom really romanticized Christmas, and that's something that really stuck with me, because if you know me at all, I'm a little Christmas elf. Like, I love Christmas. I make a big deal out of Christmas. Christmas is a holiday that I have the happiest childhood memories with. I think naturally I romanticize Christmas a lot because of that. I mean, I don't know how everyone's raised, obviously, but I think in certain ways we were raised to romanticize life a little bit. Like, I know it's probably already within most of us, if not all of us, and it's just tapping into it that I think we have to learn to do. Because when they say when you go to Disneyland and like you're a kid again, it's kind of like that. It's like learning to be a kid again with certain things. When you're an adult, life is so dull, I guess I can say. Like, adulting is not fun by any means. You have to learn to romanticize the little moments in order to cope and get through the hard parts of life. And that's not something that's easy to do once you're not a child anymore and that magic is kind of broken, if I'm making sense. We as adults forget that we have the choice to romanticize our life. And honestly, it can save our life. If it wasn't for me romanticizing my life, I wouldn't be where I am at all. I wouldn't have what I have. I wouldn't have my platforms. I just don't know where I'd be without romanticizing my life. I think romanticizing my life is my personality trait at this point. Like, I don't know what I would do or how I would ever even be able to smile or live happy without romanticizing the small things. And something that can be very, very hard to do, because romanticizing your life is a state of mind. And once you practice it and you do it enough, it's almost like a habit, turns into something you just naturally and normally and organically do. So what romanticizing life means to me is to just honestly take the things that I hate doing the most and that are the most tedious and making them enjoyable. And by doing that, I am shifting my mind and I'm shifting the energy from negative to positive. Romanticizing your life is just so much more than just an aesthetic. Like, it doesn't just mean lighting candles and having a view or like making your place look like out of a magazine. That is not what romanticizing your life means at all. I've been romanticizing my life since I was a literal child, even when I was in spaces that did not look like this. I used to film my YouTube videos literally out of a small walk-in closet that was in a really, really, really old house, because it was my ex's grandma's house. I set up little things on the shelves in that closet, and mind you, there was like her clothes in there, my ex-boyfriend's clothes were in there, and I would just like make it look aesthetic enough to film my videos, to romanticize filming content for my YouTube channel. And that's what romanticizing my life means to me. That's what romanticizing your life really means. It doesn't mean having something material. It means putting your mind in the state of, how am I going to make this work for me, and how am I going to make it enjoyable? Enjoy the things that I wish were better or that I wish could improve. The reason why romanticizing your life is so important is because it takes you out of autopilot mode. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but you just are doing the same thing every day. You're just repeating the routine, and you are getting not even just bored, but you are feeling a little bit miserable about it, and you feel stuck, and you feel like you're in this like headspace where you feel like you're stuck with your circumstances and there's nothing you can really do to change them. But when you can't control the circumstances around it, you can control and shift your mind about it. It's about creating joy in the mundane things, like the unenjoyable tasks. Not only that, it boosts your mental health, it boosts your self-worth, and it allows you to kind of take control when your life is feeling chaotic or feeling unenjoyable. Romanticizing your life just gives you that sense of like, okay, I may not enjoy what is happening to me or what is going on around me, but I'm going to enjoy myself meanwhile I am in these circumstances and meanwhile I am in this space, if that makes sense. There are a few different ways that I personally like to romanticize life, and I'm going to give you all the tea right now so that you guys can try to apply some of these things to your life. I hope that it ends up helping you out. I hope that even by just listening to this podcast, you're able to get out of bed right now or get off the couch or whatever you're doing and decide to do something for yourself, something different, something enjoyable. I'm not a big routine person per se because I have ADHD. So I don't have like super set routines, but I do have, I want to call it like the skeleton of a routine almost. Like there are set things that I know I'm going to do every single day that have to get done. Like a morning routine, like brushing my teeth and making my coffee and stuff like that. And due to the ADHD, I may not be very routine like, but I am a person that hyperfixates on certain things like food and coffee and a specific drink that I really enjoy. So whenever I know there's something I have hyperfixated on and something that I actually do enjoy doing in the morning, I like to start my morning with that. And then that gets me to do the parts that are not as enjoyable about my morning. But romanticizing these things that don't feel enjoyable about your morning is how you're going to get yourself to do them. So I will literally think, okay, I have to like, I don't know, use the bathroom, brush my teeth, brush my hair, right? And for me, I think one of the things that I hate doing as my morning routine is my hair. I genuinely hate doing my hair. Doing hair is just not in the cards for me. I love doing makeup, but not hair. So I will make my coffee and do my makeup first so that it will kind of put me in the headspace, in the positive space that I need in order to have the energy to do my hair. So I will do something that's enjoyable for myself first to get me to do the things that are not as enjoyable. Because once you do that one thing that you do enjoy, it shifts your entire energy and it makes you want to do the things that maybe you don't enjoy as much. Like maybe let's say you don't enjoy making your bed, but you really enjoy the way that the ambiance in the home feels when there's a candle lit. So then light a candle before you make your bed so that, you know, you're not going to light a candle and then your room's going to be messy. You're not going to want that. This is how I trick myself to clean too. I light a candle. Lighting a candle has magic. I don't know what it is, but there's magic in lighting a candle for me. Like I will light a candle and that will get me to start cleaning because I'm like, how is this beautiful candle going to be lit, but this whole place is going to be a mess? It's so much more like energetically satisfying when your candle is lit in a clean space. There's just a couple of little hacks to get yourself to do things that are routinistic that maybe you are not fond of. Like, I don't know, maybe like washing your dishes. I light a candle to wash my dishes. Having all pink dishes, for me, at least for me, I know not everybody's like obsessed with pink, but having dishes that I enjoy looking at makes me want to clean them because I enjoy looking at them. I know that sounds so silly and people think like, this girl's taking her pink obsession to a whole other level, but I'm telling you guys, the reason why I enjoy doing things is because I really enjoy that color, and having that color around me is healing and makes me romanticize my life and makes me want to do things. Hopefully that explains why the pink obsession. Everybody kind of questions it or like they wonder. That is why, girl, because if I'm surrounded by things that I find beautiful, it makes me want to live my life. I don't know. Another thing that I think I hate doing is running errands. I think it's just like, I used to love doing it, but in LA, driving is a bit of a headache. And I think we can all vouch for like driving here is not fun at all. Like it is just not the cutest. So what I do is I have a really, really solid playlist, and it helps whenever one of my favorite artists drops a new song. But I do listen to really, really good music in the car and wear really cute sunglasses. And I think that makes me want to drive and do my errands. Also my AirPods, like, or just listening to music, like headphones, if I have an errand that I have to walk and do, because I do live in the city, so I do walk to some places. Having a headset or a way to listen to music while I run my errands, which I don't put the music on too loud, but I do like to have something enjoyable. Also, grabbing a little treat when you have to do errands. Listen, I'm not justifying like any addictions here, but I am telling you that sometimes when you have to do a lot of tasks that you're not excited to do, it is nice to get yourself a little treat, like an iced latte or something like that. And if you don't already do that, I feel like this is not a secret. This is not really monumental. I'm not telling you anything new by any means. But if you haven't tried it or if you've stopped doing it, go back to doing it. It's worth the $5 for your happiness. I think a lot of people also they forget to prioritize their happiness, and a lot of the times it could be like money issues or it can be things like that. And make yourself the latte at home before you leave the house, or pour your Dr. Pepper inside of a Stanley. You know what I mean? Like do the romanticizing the life part even if you can't afford to get yourself a little latte out. But definitely always give yourself a little treat when you have to run those errand days. Since I have ADHD, I'm not the kind of person that will be like, after I run my errands, I get a treat. No, I need the treat to run the errands. Like, I need the treat first. So I have to go and get my latte first and then I'll run all the errands. But if you are the kind of person that's more of like a task and then reward, but instead of like reward and then task, then you could definitely be like, okay, well, after I run all of my errands, I'm going to get myself my favorite cookie from, I don't know, Crumble Cookies. You know what I mean? Like just make yourself have an incentive to do the things that you don't enjoy doing. That incentive doesn't always have to cost money either, but just give yourself an incentive. Like if I do this, I'm going to allow myself to binge watch The Bachelor when I get home. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be something you're buying or out and actively purchasing, but just something you enjoy doing. It doesn't matter what it is. So another thing I like to romanticize as I've gotten older are my meals. And that's something that I never did in the past, really. I started to do it more so when we purchased our first house, but I started romanticizing making my meals because I'm going to be honest, I can cook a mean meal. I'm a good cook, but I don't love to cook. I don't love it. I'm not like a, yes, cooking is so fun. And I hope that someday that changes because I cook for myself because I have to eat, obviously. But it's something I've had to romanticize in order to actually enjoy. And even then, I still kind of dread it. So I don't know, but I feel like romanticizing making my food is something that has helped me make healthier meals as well. Like I will basically get really beautiful plates and set it up in a really beautiful plate, or I will basically treat myself with something I really enjoy while I'm making my meal. Like I love mozzarella sticks, so if I'm at the grocery store, I grab a pack of mozzarella sticks and I enjoy a couple of them while I'm making my food, and that's something that gets me to like cook and enjoy the cooking. This is one I recently started to do, and it's solo dates. I've never really, well, I have taken myself on solo dates like unintentionally, or like I'm the kind of person that enjoys my own company. I like being alone. I can't say that I don't. I enjoy my own company. That is something that I have never really struggled with. I've always enjoyed being alone. I think I've had moments of feeling lonely for sure, but I've never not enjoyed my own company. Anyway, yes, enjoying your own company is super, super important. And I think that's something a lot of humans struggle with, is just enjoying your own company. And that has a lot to do with self esteem. So if you don't enjoy your own company, maybe try getting yourself ready, looking really cute, wearing a really cute outfit, and look in the mirror, tell yourself you're that girl. And honestly, girl, make jokes with yourself. For me, I am such a goof. Like when I'm alone, I try to not negative self talk, but I am a funny girl. So I will literally just make fun of myself, not in an ugly way, more so in a laughing way. And that tends to like, I don't know, I enjoy my own company. I like hearing my own thoughts because I am a very creative human, a very creative person. So if you are somebody who maybe does not enjoy being alone that much and you're having struggle being alone, I do know that the times I felt lonely and have wanted company is when I didn't really want to be alone with my thoughts. And that's normal. We all have like those phases in life where we just don't want to hear our own thoughts. It's usually if we're going through something traumatic or we're going through something negative, but we also have to be mindful that we cannot live our whole life in this state of mind. And this is where romanticizing your life can really save you. And I'm telling you this because this is how it saved me. When I was going through the domestic violence at home and the bullying at school, and even as an adult, I've had not so great friends. I've had friendship breakups, I've had romantic breakups, I've had things in that have happened in my life that are hard to persevere through, hard to not think about. When it's happening, it's not like you can avoid thinking about it necessarily, but you can cope with it by romanticizing your life. If I'm going through something really traumatic, I literally treat myself like if I am sick. I will curl up and watch my favorite Netflix episode and eat some of my favorite snacks, even if they're not healthy. I will treat myself and allow myself to have those moments. And I try to allow myself to sit in my feelings because it's something I used to not do when I was younger. And it ended up bottling up until I became an adult. And then it all came out in toxic ways. And I've had to cleanse and really, really, really just really, really heal. And healing is not linear. I'm not saying I'm perfect or I'm fully healed because that can't be further from the truth. I have so much work to do on myself, and I think we always are going to have work to do on ourselves. And if we stop trying to get to the finish line with the work we have to do with ourselves, and we just enjoy the now and pat ourselves in the back for the progress we've made, it allows us to romanticize our life more. I understand when you're going through a breakup or something very, very sad in your life, or like going through grief or anything like that, it is nearly impossible for you to think of like turning the situation into a positive thing, because that's not an easy thing to go through. Losing a friend or losing a partner, or, just having a bad time at work, or losing your job, or not having money, or like just, these things that drag you down into a very, very, very deep and very, very hard mentality. It's not easy to get up from that. It's not easy to romanticize your life from that. And I'm not sitting here telling you that, oh, if you just put on makeup and a cute outfit, you can conquer it all and you're gonna forget about, the pain you're going through, because that's not necessarily true. Does it help to get ready and get up out of bed? Yes, it definitely helps, but it doesn't solve all. While you're healing and figuring out how to romanticize your life through these things, you have to have grace with yourself. And this is the next topic I'm gonna tell you guys. Sorry, my cats. This is the next thing I want to kind of delve into, and it is how to tap into romanticizing your life whenever you are going through these really, really, really difficult times. I have a sense of humor, so I think that I try to almost make light of every situation and just not necessarily laugh it off, because I don't find that really works. But honestly, just having a sense of humor through the darkest stuff, it's very helpful. Having a great support system around you helps. Going through a really, really tough time, but you have your best friend that you can like call up and you guys can go on a coffee date and you can romanticize that. Or let's say that you just went through a breakup, sitting at home wallowing in it, it doesn't help. Yes, you should sit in your feelings by all means, like, of course, but at some point you have to get back up. At some point you have to get out of your house. At some point you have to do something about yourself. You can't just sit there and wallow and feel sorry for yourself and stay in that victim mentality, because even when we are victims of something, that doesn't mean we have to continue to be victims of everything. And that's something that's very, very hard for a lot of people to hear. Some people continue to victimize themselves over every little thing in every situation. They just continue to be the victim, until it becomes such a bad habit that they're just the victim all of the time of everything, even their own circumstances, or like the stuff that even they do to themselves, and they self-sabotage because they are in that victim mentality. They're so deep in that victim mentality. And it is very, very difficult to not only be around, but also energetically connects with somebody who's continuously a victim in their mind. And that is where I get to why romanticizing your life is important, because it changes that victim mentality. It allows you to have control over your life in a way where you can shift the energy. And when you can shift the energy of something, you are never going to be in that victim mentality. You are never going to feel stuck anymore. People who stay in a victim mentality is because they feel stuck in life and they feel like they are the victim and they can't control the circumstances around them. But when you learn to change your mind and shift your mindset about it, you are no longer a victim. I hope that that's making sense and that's clicking. I have 3 tips for you right now that I'm going to give you. 3 top little secrets. Not really secrets. It's going to sound so obvious when I say it. But I have 3 tools that you can use to stop being a victim in your life, to romanticize your life, to shift that energy in your head. And I'm going to give you scenarios and I'm going to give you solutions. The first one's really corny, but it works a lot more than you think. And I want you to write down 3 things that you are currently grateful for. Even if you think there is nothing to be grateful for, there's always something to be grateful for. And if you need some examples, you woke up today. There's people who didn't wake up today. If you are healthy and there is nothing wrong with you, this one applies to you, but you are healthy. You are healthy. Do you have your legs and your arms? If you do, you have your legs and your arms, get around, to move around, to go outside, to take a walk, take in the fresh air, be able to breathe and not need help from anyone. That's a blessing. It's a blessing to not be dependent on anyone. If you don't have to be dependent on anyone, I want you to count that blessing. I want you to count that blessing right now. And finally, the third one is, do you have at least one person in your life right now that you love, that loves you? At least one person. Think of that person right now. And I want you to be grateful for that person. Sometimes we get so caught up on wanting something new energetically, or like wanting something that, we can't, usually when we're in this headspace, we can't even give what we want in our life. And I want you to think of that one person who is in your life, whether that's your mom or a sibling or a partner or a friend. And I want you to just count that blessing right now as well. I know there's at least one person in your life who absolutely adores you and you adore them, and you're able to sit in that energy of someone loving you so much that they've been in your life for years, or that they check up on you, or that they're just in your life. Just think of that person and count that blessing. Now that you've thought of those 3 things, now I'm going to give you 3 ways to romanticize your life using those exact same 3 things. If you woke up and you took a breath today and you're alive, which you are because you're watching this video, I want you to pick one thing today that you really like to do, that's attainable for you to do, and I want you to do it. I want you to just do it. It doesn't need to be a special occasion. It doesn't need to be your birthday, girl. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, but do it. Use a special, skincare cream that you bought, or like use the really expensive shoes that you have sitting in your closet that you save for a special occasion. I want you to just like do something for yourself that feels extra, that feels like you took that extra mile today to feel great. I want you to do that one thing you maybe only do on special occasions. I want you to bring out that one shirt or that one outfit. Just do it, okay? Trust. You don't have to wait for a special occasion for this to happen, because you woke up today, okay? We're not promised every single day. We're not promised to, not even tomorrow. So wear it today. The next thing I want you to do is, if you have your hands and your feet and you're grateful for that, let's romanticize the heck out of that. I want you to go take a walk, a hike, go move your body, go do something, go walk to your balcony and breathe fresh air for a minute. You don't even have to do a crazy intense workout or anything. Just like go stretch on a yoga mat on your balcony, in your backyard, in your front yard. Go to the park if you're able to, and take your yoga mat and stretch. I just want you to move your body. It doesn't have to be a workout, but just move your body. Like take a walk, use your legs, use your hands, do something that's tangible so that you can come back to yourself, so that you can, that saying when they say to touch grass, like I get that that's meant to be rude, to tell people to like get off the internet, but no, literally touch grass. literally touch grass. Like, I can't because I'm allergic to it. I'll go touch the pavement, but like literally touch grass and try to do this 3 times a week. Go touch grass 3 times a week. Get yourself in nature, get yourself outside, get your body moving, and appreciate that you have legs and hands. You have someone that loves you, that you love them, that's in your life. We all have someone. I want you to call that person and make a plan. Make a plan to see that person. And if you cannot like see that person because of distance or whatever, make a FaceTime date with that person. Like, even if it's your mom. Hey mom, I want to cook like my favorite recipe that you make me. And moms love to hear this, okay? Moms love to feel needed. So like, I don't care what it is that maybe your mom, you remember your mom does for you, or that person that you love does for you. But make a date and ask for a recipe, cook together on FaceTime, or watch a TV series together on FaceTime and get each other's reaction through FaceTime. And if you have the blessing to be able to do something with that person physically, like see them physically, make a plan with that person. And I'm telling you that this is part of romanticizing your life, because you have to make plans to look forward to. Or else, what is the point of life? You have to make plans with the people you love so you can look forward to them. Make a date for the weekend. And if you are really feeling like you need that connection soon, see who's available out of the list of the people that you love, your support system. Try to see someone as soon as possible. And even if there's people who you can't see as soon as possible, still make plans with those people for a future date. And this is how easy, how simple it is to romanticize your life. You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to buy anything crazy. You don't have to do anything out of the box, extraordinary. You don't have to travel to Bali to romanticize your life. You can do it in little small ways every single day, in small habits every single week, and start making these things habitual. Start making sure you're appreciating these things, like moving your body, like being able to call the person you love, because everybody's not here forever. Like, you don't have everyone forever. So appreciate the people you do have, love on them, assume love about them. And listen, I'm not here to tell you to journal or to like do aesthetic stuff or anything corny, but I will tell you that it does help when you surround yourself by things that you love. Whatever it is that means for you, it doesn't have to mean pink like it does for me, right? For me, romanticizing my life means a color, but that doesn't mean that that's the only way to romanticize your life. You don't need luxury items. You just need like intention. I think intention is the biggest key to this. You have to have the intention to make every single mundane task every single day feel happy, feel productive. I cannot explain to you guys how many things throughout my day I don't actually want to do sometimes. Sometimes your girl is tired. Sometimes I don't have energy, but I am going to turn it into something positive if I'm going to do it. I don't like doing things and being upset while I do them. That's not really the kind of way that I want to live my life. And I hope that if you are somebody who's moving through life right now and you're feeling a little bit miserable, a little bit upset, a little bit frustrated, a little bit irritated with like your everyday, trust me, I'm not judging you. It's okay, because I've been there. I used to work like actual jobs I had to clock into, and that was my everyday miserable for me. And that will be another topic for another podcast. But if you're feeling it's like you're moving in life a little bit unhappy right now, I want you to set the intention right now that you are going to start doing small things to romanticize the things you don't want to do. Okay? If you have a job you clock into and that's right now, that's like what's making you feel like your everyday feels mundane. I don't know how to pronounce that word right. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if tasks feel mundane to you or don't feel enjoyable to you right now, like going into that job, I want you to do something in the morning that makes you want to go to that job. Because you want to know what? Your coworker Sally probably gets a Starbucks every day and walks in with her little Starbucks every day, because that's what makes her happy to go to work. That's what makes her happy to start her job. I don't know what you personally love, obviously, because this is going to be different for everybody. But what's going to make you feel like going to work is enjoyable. But whatever that is, I want you to think really hard about it and do that. Think of one thing you really, really enjoy and do that before work. That's why some people go to the gym before work. It gets their day started. It makes them feel happy throughout the day. That's why there's some people who bring their two Stanleys to work because it makes them happy to look at their Stanley and have their little sippy sippy every once in a while while they're at work. And that's okay. That's okay. That's good. It's good that you're choosing you. It's good that you're choosing your happiness and that you're bringing your two giant Stanleys to work. I love to see it. I love to see a girl come in with all her Stanleys, all her charms and like making all the noise, like, look bitch, I'm here and I'm here to be happy. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I just love to see a woman, or anyone really, a human. I love to see a human be about what they're about and doing the things that they love every single day, even if it's as small as carrying a Stanley. If you are feeling like you are getting a little bit influenced, right, by creators on social media, myself included, okay? I don't care. I'm not excluded from this. But if you're feeling like you're having to keep up, or you need this or that to be romanticizing your life, or you feel like if you just had their life, you would be happy, or if you just reached this goal, you would be happy, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. Okay? That is not true. And I'm telling you this from experience because when I had zero, when I didn't even have a place to live, okay, I romanticized my life and I decided and I chose to wake up every day and believe in a weird, outlandish, crazy dream because trust me, and people in my hometown made fun of me because they're like, oh, she really thinks she's going to get somewhere with like online on the internet. And back when I started being on the internet, it was taboo to be on the internet. Like it was even considered dangerous to put yourself on the internet. So just think of that. Think of that because I was a girl who ran away from home. I had zero. I started from zero and I got myself a job at Ulta to be able to get free makeup, to be able to make my beauty videos. Like, isn't that insane? Like, if there's a will, there's a way. You will find a way. And I want you to think like that about your happiness. I want you to think, oh my goodness, I want to be happy so bad. I want to wake up and feel happy with my life so bad. What am I going to do to get there? What am I going to do to feel happy when I wake up, to feel like I want to start my day? Think of that as like your deepest desire, and then start acting on it. To tell you how you can change your mindset from like hating doing something to loving doing something, like laundry for me. And although I gave you an example, I want to give you positive affirmative words for you to use. And I don't think this is going to be new to you guys, but maybe if you just forgot, or maybe you haven't been as intentional with saying these things, I can remind you. Instead of saying I have to do something, you have to rephrase that and say I get to do this. And the way that that works is when you feel like you have to do something, your brain doesn't want to do it because by nature we self-sabotage, and by nature we are kind of resistant. Like, to be honest, as humans, we're the resistance. Like, we don't like to do things that we have to do by nature. So if you switch your mindset to I get to do this, it turns everything so much more enjoyable. But it's not about just saying it, it's about having the intention with it. So the way that you want to have the intention with it is by thinking in your head and thinking, you want to know what? I get to do my laundry. There's people who don't even have a washer and dryer. Like in my last apartment unit, I didn't have an in-unit washer and dryer. So having one now makes me romanticize doing my laundry. Now, if you're somebody who just has always had a washer and dryer, so this can't apply to you, you get to do your laundry, girl. You get to do your laundry. You have laundry to do. You have clothes. You have clothes to wear. Like, that's amazing that you get to do laundry and that you have something to clothe yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. So you get to do your laundry. You get to wash the dishes. You get to put gas in your car. You get to go to work. Some people don't have jobs. You know what I mean? There are so many things in life. And I get it that it's not about like, oh, someone has it worse than you. No, it's not about that. It's about just being grateful for what you have. People might have a necessity of something that you get to be blessed with. And it's just one of those things where it's like gratitude is so important in romanticizing your life. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Like, you get to wake up today. You get to have family that loves you. You get to have a partner that loves you. You get to have friends that love you. You get that. And you don't have to do those things. You don't have to find a partner. You get to find a partner in life. And I want to say this one because I know there's probably a few single girlies watching out there. I know for sure a couple of them are my friends. So I want to tell you this. This is for you. I get that it seems like everything's like dating's just trash. I get it. I get it. Okay. But you get to date. Dating should be fun. Dating should be fun. You get to date. I think when I was dating as well, it was also so crappy and like, trust me, I know, girl. But you know what? I wish that I had treated it as more of a fun thing rather than like a stressful thing, because getting to know people and getting to meet new people is a blessing. It's a blessing to get to know and meet new people, even if those people are not the best for you. It's a blessing to get to learn what you don't want. Not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets to date, and not everybody gets to say that they got to experience and meet new and different people. You know, there's some people in arranged marriages. There's some people who have disabilities who don't get to date like that. Like, you have to be grateful for what you have, even if it's that you're single and the dating world is crap. You still have to be grateful that you get to date. You still have to be grateful that you get to find a life partner, because not everybody gets to do that. Touched on creating gratitude for even the small stuff. I'm going to talk about a few just personal stories that I kind of want to share with you guys that I think might help you on this topic. There are always times when you feel really low and it's really hard to romanticize life. Kind of scenario that was very difficult for me to romanticize was when I was in high school and I was getting bullied at school, then I was coming home and dealing with domestic violence. And I think that got very, very difficult for me. I didn't really see a lot of lightness in the world. I didn't see a lot of positivity in the world. It kind of felt like everything was just, so I know if you're just listening to this, I just made a farting noise and you're like, what the heck? It's because I'm also filming this for YouTube, so like you can see me and I like put a thumbs down and did that noise. But if you're listening, LOL. LOL. Whenever I was going through all that stuff as a teenager, basically, and then on top of it, there's hormones, like being a teenager is just hard already. And then those things on top of it were extra difficult. It was very difficult for me to romanticize my life. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I had my phase where I was just kind of miserable. I was just kind of not a very happy person. I didn't really smile much. And that made people think I was very unapproachable and very, like, I guess, not nice. And, that was without me even saying a word. You know what I mean? People would just assume that because I walked around the world with that energy, with that kind of, you almost walk with kind of a slouch and kind of like just not a very happy aura. And I think that that was very difficult for me to go through. And I think I had like one friend to my name that I still love her very much. We're still friends to this day, who understood me, but I didn't necessarily tell her everything. I think we both just understood because we both come from similar cultures. So I didn't have to really say anything. She just kind of understood. And besides her, no one else really got it. So, it's very, very difficult when you're going through that, being bullied, and you start moving in the world with kind of like a cloud above your head. And I remember whenever I first started and got introduced into the world of cosmetics and how much that lit up my life. Like, it really just lit up my world because it taught me to romanticize life again. And I think it's because I had forgotten how to just get myself ready and feel pretty because I was bullied so much. I didn't think I was pretty anymore. And that was very hard for me. So makeup and the cosmetic industry and my channels, social media, it saved my life. And I know that not everybody has such a positive like experience on social media, but for me, it really did save my life. And it's because of the intention that I viewed it with. And I think it's because I like everything in my actual real physical life was so difficult that online was great. Like, online was like this whole new world I got to explore and experience. And that goes to say, if you're feeling this way, like things are just not so great and it's really difficult for you to just kind of go through life, I think it would be helpful for you to find a whole new world for yourself. That doesn't even have to be social media. It could be taking up on a new hobby, like signing yourself up for piano lessons, or starting, I don't know, starting to go to a comedy club if you like that kind of thing, or like visiting somewhere new that you've never been to before and making friends in a new space, or like maybe enrolling yourself back into college is a good one, because inevitably in college and school you make friends. It doesn't even matter how old you are. Go and take a class. Like, you don't even have to go for a whole degree. Just go and take a class that, I know a lot of colleges do them, where it's just like a class for you to just like enrich your learning experience. So they have ways for you to be able to just take like one or two classes. For me, it was finding a whole new world that I had never experienced before, and being around different energies and different mindsets, and not just seeing the same thing every day, basically getting out of the bad routine of things helps me. So if you're right now in a mundane routine and you're just doing your 9 to 5 and going home and repeat, and you feel kind of a little bit irritated and not happy with it, do something new, do something different on your day off. Getting towards the end, guys, but I do want to talk about habits, because even though I'm not great at routine, I do have little habits that I really, really swear by every day. One of them is definitely making my bed. Making my bed, and I know you probably hear this a lot. This is very cliche, but it changes everything. Making your bed gets your day started. It makes you feel like you're ready. You don't get back in bed. That's the most important part. You don't get back in bed. Making your bed, guys. That's the first one. The second one is to change out of my pajamas. I got so bad at this after the pandemic, because I would just live in my pajamas. During the pandemic is what made me break this, because I think I did like 1 month or something where I was just like not getting out of my pajamas, and it was starting to make me feel a little depressy. So that's when I started to film a lot of the fashion content you guys saw on my main channel, like a lot of the clothing hauls, because the clothing hauls would force me to get out of my pajamas, like force me, like, no, I have to film a clothing haul. Like, you have to get out of your pajamas when you're filming a clothing haul. You know what I mean? So I would do things that I enjoyed to force myself out of like being in my pajamas all day. So if for you that's like going to the gym or like going and taking a walk, you're not gonna go take a walk in your pajamas. Like, put on a cute workout outfit or something. You know what I mean? But choose something at the start of your day to get out of your pajamas. Like, make a habit. If you are not the kind of person who's just gonna do it, like you work from home or something, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Build a habit around getting out of your pajamas, like going to take a walk, going to get a little drinky drink. I don't know, I don't care, but do something. Get out of your PJs. The last one is making myself breakfast. I was very bad at this because I used to do intermittent fasting. So I wouldn't really eat until noon, and I would eat between 12 and like 8 when I was meal prepping. So I just got used to not eating breakfast, like not eating breakfast, because by noon it's lunch. So, but now, even if I do the fasting, I move my fasting to like 10 a.m., between 10 and like 7, because I needed fuel. Like, my body was not doing well off of no breakfast, off of that fast. Sometimes some things are just not for everyone, and you have to get to know your body. So one thing for me is to learn the habits I need to start my day, because if I don't start my day, then I don't do it. I don't get anything done. I just sit and scroll, or I doom scroll, or I just sit in my bed or on my couch, or I'll just go straight to the computer and edit YouTube videos. Like, those were some of my really, really difficult bad habits that I had. Like, I would wake up and just straight to the computer. Like, I wouldn't even drink water or eat anything. I would just work, and I was such a workaholic. Like, it was honestly so bad, and I had to break those habits by creating and romanticizing somewhat of a morning routine, more so morning habits that I do. I guess once you put them all together, it's kind of a routine. But I can't say I do them all in the right order every day. Like, sometimes I make my breakfast, then I make my bed. Sometimes I make my bed, then I make my breakfast. Like, I don't do them in an order, like in a routine order. But I for sure have those habits that I do every single day. Get out of my PJs, make myself some breakfast, and make my bed. Doesn't matter what order I do them in, but they gotta get done. And I brush my teeth and do all that stuff too, but those are just like basics. But yeah, those are 3 things I have to do to start my day. And it's changed my life. It's absolutely changed my life. I learned to slow down. I learned to enjoy life and just go at a normal pace, really, because I'm a little bit crazy. I can what is it called? Hyper focus. And I will hyper focus on something and just go, 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 go. And it's insane. It's insane how much I can get done. I'm a go-getter, but at the same time, it's not healthy. You know what I mean? I had to learn to just do more for myself and less for like, not even so much less for others, but just less stressing myself about the future, because I would stress like, oh, I want to become my best self so bad, but I was missing the entire, like, does that make sense? When you want to become your best self, but like you're not even doing things to become your best self, you're just working, and basing your value off of your career is never good. And that's something that I learned in the past, like, I don't know, 4 years, that I don't need to be a go-getter all the time. I'm allowed to slow down, take care of myself, take care of my health. And even though in the past I've always been a gym goer, I've always been a huge like mindful eater. I've always been mindful and great at those things, but I just was not paying attention to my body. I was trying to fit it into a mold of someone else's healthy routine. And I noticed, because I would be like a little irritable sometimes, or like, and it's because I hadn't eaten, and it's like such a basic need. And I realized, girl, you got to get some food in you first thing in the morning. And that's just how my personal body works. You have to listen to your own. We're going to end this with some encouraging words and something to leave you feeling positive and happy and ready to take on your life, and hopefully ready to make some positive changes. I want you guys to start small. Romanticizing your life is a habit. It's not a performance, it's a habit, okay? Like, you're not doing this to perform for anyone. You're doing this to make a habit of something, to make your life feel more enjoyable and happy. So I want you to start with something very, very, very tiny. Like, it can be as simple as, like I said, making your bed every day. Like, if that even feels like a lot, or you deal with depression, it could be something as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for in your notes on your phone. Like, just something super, super small, but just start. I feel like everyone deserves to be excited about life. It doesn't matter who you are, your circumstances, where you're at, who you've been, what you've done, what mistakes you've made or haven't made, or what other people have done to you or haven't done to you. Everyone deserves to be excited about their life, and that's what makes the human life and experience enjoyable, and it makes you a better person. And even if you maybe have made some mistakes in the past, don't be so hard on yourself. You can change that. You can change yourself. You're not stuck, okay? You're not stuck. You can be a better you. That's something you can always do. Some people may have had enforced their boundaries around you when you are in these not so positive headspaces, and they're allowed to do that, but you're also allowed to get back up and allowed to turn into somebody who is just a better you. It doesn't matter what you're judging yourself for, what you feel guilty about, what you need to fix in your life, or what you need to work on. That doesn't matter. You're still allowed to be excited about life, and feeling excited about life is going to help you heal those things naturally, and it's going to give you the energy you need to put in that kind of like self-worth work and that self-work that you need to do. Because a lot of the times it's a self-esteem issue, girl. It's a self-esteem issue why you're not feeling so great about yourself. And it's okay. It's okay if you're not, but something does have to change. You're already the main character in your own life, so don't forget that. You have to just open your eyes and realize that you're the main character in your life. You are the one who has the control. You are the one who can make things happen for yourself. You just have to decide that you want to do it. You have to decide that you're ready for it. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end today's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it, my loves. I hope that it was helpful for you. I hope that I'm leaving you here feeling inspired, motivated, feeling ready to make some positive changes, and just feeling your best self already. Sending you so, so much love. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.